During the pandemic, there was a huge boom of people who got interested in doing drag from how big it became on social media.
Digital drag during the pandemic really brought out the creativity of alternative drag and kind of brought a lot of people out of their shell and wanting to see stuff like that.
There was just this huge influx of young people who wanted to be kings.
Au début, je savais pas que ça existait, faire du drag king, parce qu'il y a majoritairement du drag queen. J'en parlais avec mes amis, puis j'ai fait « Hey, ça me tente vraiment de commencer à faire du drag, j'ai envie de pouvoir explorer ça. » Puis au début, ils m'ont dit « Ah, ben, tu sais, c'est peut-être juste une de tes lubies. » Et mon nom de drag, c'est Nico Luby.
Hi, my name's Adorable. I'm one of 3 organizers of Under Construction, which is, I will say, probably Montreal's premier alternative open stage. I am a Chinese non-binary performer, and out of drag, I am a professional chef. Classically trained, award-winning, certified, been to France.
Je sais pas comment expliquer ça serait quoi notre public, mais c'est vraiment des personnes non-binaires, trans, alternatives, gothiques, punk. On dirait un rassemblement de personnes étranges, mais que tout le monde ensemble, on est normal, on a notre place, on est là, puis on va rester là. Au final, on fait de la drague parce qu'on aime ça. On fait de la drague parce que ça nous donne de l'euphorie de genre, parce que ça nous donne de l'euphorie, puis on le fait parce qu'on aime la réaction que ça nous donne avec le public.
I've had a person in my life describe watching me perform as watching a light within me turn on.
I don't know if you know many drag people, but usually once the makeup is on, they get a low-key god complex. Septième édition! Hello queer! Hello queer!
Under Construction is a trio of myself, Nico Luby, and Mike Oxlong. Our goal is really to bring underrepresented drag artists and performers to the stage.
C'est justement pour et par la communauté, dans le sens que on voulait avoir plus de place pour la drague alternative, plus de place pour des drag kings, des drag créatures, things queer.
We're all trans, and so we find ourselves as performers who don't really get as much opportunity as some other performers, and so we want to bring the same kind of opportunity to other performers like us. We also like to bring, a little bit of a alternative side to a mainstream audience.
On avait envie de pouvoir juste faire ce qu'on veut dans nos numéros puis pas se bloquer. C'est vraiment important pour nous d'offrir un safe space pour les artistes, pour nous-mêmes, puis pour la communauté.
They're all hyper energetic, and each of them have their own style, but they kind of still come together. I think they all bring their own energy to make it a very fun show to watch. It's very entertaining, and it's very goblin and chaotic energy, which really speaks to me.
We just passed our 7th show, so it's been a year and 2 months. It's gotten to a point where we're becoming one of the bigger known alternative shows. Montreal's drag scene, it has always been very cabaret and camp and beauty focused with a very small niche of alternative drag. And so we've been slowly creeping in, And I think we're kind of showing our community that we can be just as big and make just as much of a splash as mainstream drag. If you were a cis straight person who had never heard of drag before, when you think of drag, you think about a man who looks like a woman. Alternative drag and drag kings are basically anything but that.
My name is Megs Fitzgerald, and in drag I go by Hercules. The average person coming to a big drag show probably has only ever actually been exposed to drag through watching RuPaul's Drag Race. When they see a king on the stage for the first time, and this is what it was a lot in my early career, the audience would kind of go quiet because they're just literally trying to understand, what am I seeing on stage? The fact that drag kings haven't had the same screen time and that sort of exposure as drag queens is just misogyny. If RuPaul had decided when he started to produce his TV show that he would make a gender balanced cast, I have no doubt that today kings would be as respected and as elevated and would be paid as much as drag queens. But because that TV show came about and elevated one half of the community, it kind of left the other half of the community underdeveloped, underfunded, underdesired.
Under Kingstruction. Beaucoup de misogynie et de transphobie. Donc, sorry. Je vais partir dans un...
Be nice. Right before rendez-vous la drague, be careful.
I know. Étant une personne affable, donc une personne assignée femme à la naissance, une sorte de micro-agression qu'on reçoit beaucoup, c'est de se faire dire la prochaine artiste, la drag queen, oups, drag king. Ou tu sais, dans les loges, ils sont comme hey girl. Je suis pas plus une girl en king, en drag que out of drag. Tu sais, je connais du monde qui me connaissent de Nico depuis que j'ai commencé à faire la drag et continuent à me dire salut ma belle. Elle, malgré que je suis en drag king, malgré que savent que je prends des hormones, puis savent que je suis trans, puis je continue à me faire dire elle, puis tu sais comme hey, je me fais mes genres en plus par ma propre communauté. Où est-ce que je veux me sentir bien? Où est-ce que je veux me sentir dans mon espace?
When I started performing, there were essentially no kings or just like kind of literally 2-3 kings here or there. And so when we would be cast in a show, it was very hard not to feel tokenized because you would always be the only king in the show. We needed explanation every single time, especially if that audience is filled mostly with gay men. They might be excited to see masculinity up there, but at the same time, there's this like confusion of like, but you're not someone I'd want to have sex with. Why would I clap and cheer for you?
Le monde vient pas pour voir le drag king. T'es la diversité, t'es le on a quelque chose de spécial, on a un drag king, fait que t'es comme la bête de foire un peu.
I never know if I'm just tacked into the show as a token thing to be like, look, we're a woke show. I feel like I really have to earn the audience's respect, so I'm really bringing my A game every time. There are a handful of producers who really fortunately in the last few years in Montreal have been listening. It's taken drag kings to really speak up and kind of put ourselves in vulnerable positions where we know we might lose bookings by being like the difficult one. But there are definitely shows, you know, in big venues like Cabaret Meadow that are like making more space for kings in their regular lineups, and it's normalizing kings to the audience. You still might feel kind of strange or othered in the dressing room because you're probably going to be the only cis woman or trans man in the dressing room, but it's not nearly as weird as it was a few years ago. It used to be I'd walk into a dressing room and everyone would go silent, being like, okay, a lady just walked in. Now it's like, oh, the token king has arrived, great. Like, so the attitude really has changed.
Je pense qu'on y arrive tranquillement. Justement, on est comme finaliste pour le gala de la drague en tant que personne qui a eu un des meilleurs shows pendant l'année. J'espère honnêtement qu'on va vraiment gagner parce que ça serait le fun d'avoir justement un groupe de drague alternative qui gagne ça, mais je sais pas. Je serais fière. Voilà.
Hi Stella, do you want some Monster?
I'm good.
I can be your guru
What time did you guys get up this morning?
at 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
This is too early to do drag.
It should be criminal.
People in the metro was like, what the fuck is going on? This is our booth.
Amazing. Do you want to reveal?
Yeah, okay, so we have our little photo booth corner, and then we have all of these fun little props that are things that we have worn in performances before that you could, like, people could wear on their heads or, like, put on the jackets. In gay slang, you say work, and in French, work is travail. So we say travail because we're Québécois and we think it's funny. And abattu is slay, essentially.
It's crazy right now. Like I'm really happy, but like I've not been sleeping in like 48 hours. I'm gonna need a coffee soon.
This is me.
No way.
You can see the makeup change. Je suis adopté par Hervé Métal et Rock Bière, donc 2 drag kings. Une drag famille, c'est un drag qui va prendre sous son aile des baby drag pour pouvoir leur aider puis pouvoir leur donner de l'enseignement, leur aider avec les costumes, les performances. C'est comme avoir un parent, mais dans l'art.
C'est vraiment le fun de voir que notre art devient de plus en plus mainstream, que ça devient accessible à tout le monde. Ce qui est merveilleux à propos de Under Kingstruction, c'est que ça nourrit vraiment la communauté. Ils sont vraiment bien implantés. Ils offrent un spectacle de qualité, régulier. Fait que ça fait un rendez-vous auquel les gens se rattachent. Quand on parle de drag king, les gens nous parlent de Kingstruction. Fait que ça, c'est bon signe. Ça a vraiment fait sa marque. On est fiers, mais je braillerai pas.
about both.
I mean, it reminds me of cornhole.
I'm a bit stressed because, yeah, that's it. It's not like a bar, so I don't know if people will cheer up.
Look, if we did Majestics, we could do this.
Yeah, it's true.
Logistics or something.
We did Majestics, it was 28,000 people. We could do this.
Sure.
On a notre place, on est là, puis on va rester là. Puis c'est du théâtre, et c'est de l'art, puis c'est beaucoup d'investissement.
I want to be able to see a show where we're all together rather than like the only time we're together is at Pride or as like a token for like one thing.
C'est sûr que l'idéal, ça serait de joindre les deux ensemble, drag queen, drag king, drag alternative. Qu'on nous donne notre chance, puis si on a des opportunités de scène, on va pouvoir pratiquer pour pouvoir chercher un public. Je suis pas mal sûr qu'on va y arriver. Ça arrive tranquillement, mais il y a encore vraiment beaucoup de chemin à faire. C'est beaucoup d'amour, je trouve qu'il y a dans la communauté, ce qui fait vraiment du bien. On s'entraide, peu importe c'est quoi ton niveau, ça fait combien de temps tu fais de la drague, c'est quoi ton type de drague. On veut juste s'aider puis être dans la scène. 3 personnes weirdo, étranges, un drag demon, un drag clown, un drag renaissance, arrivent à juste pouvoir mettre de l'avant la diversité. On est capable de donner des bons shows, qu'on sold out quasiment à chaque fois.
There's so much talent, there's so many people who are eager to do it, and now we just need a space for them. If there could be a lesbian-owned space for queer arts, live events, performances, and it could be sort of the community hub and center for drag king performances, that would be huge.
I just want us to be able to feel seen rather than just being there. I want us to not just survive, I want us to thrive. Because we're all just like, you know, adults in makeup. So...